In this video, we'll be discussing JavaScript objects. So, what is an object? An object is a collection of key-value pairs. These keys are also called properties. In addition to this, the different types of values you can have within an object are strings, numbers, arrays, or other objects. So let's get started by creating a simple object. So I'm going to define a variable called food, which equals an object. And we are going to create a property called name, which has a value of pizza. We're going to separate this by a comma. We're going to create another property called type, which has a value of fast food. And then one more property called calories, which has a value of 300. So as you can see, each property is separated from its value by a semicolon, and each property is separated from other properties with commas. So let's try to print out this object. We're going to run this. So as you can see, it has printed out the object. So how would we access different properties? So we can use something called the dot notation, where you use food.name. So you take the property, the object dot the property, which equals pizza in this case, because we're trying to access the name. But we can also do this in another way, with something called bracket notation. So we're also going to try to access the value of pizza, and we're going to do food bracket quotes type, not type, let's do name, because we want to access pizza again. So as you can see, this is accessed pizza as well. So those are the two different ways to access properties. But let's say we want to modify these properties. So let's get rid of this, and we're going to do food.calories equals 350. So we're changing the value of calories. So we're going to console.log this and do food.calories, and this will equal 350. But let's say we want to remove calories and actually print the entire object. So we're going to run this now, and as you can see, the value of property calories has changed to 350, where it was 300 before. So now let's try to add properties. So let's say we want to include a property called ingredients. So we're going to do food.ingredients, which equals an array with cheese, tomato, and dough. And let's print this out. And we're just going to print out the ingredients first. So we're going to do food.ingredients, and we're going to run this. So as you can see, the array has been created, and let's print out the entire object. So it prints out everything that is included in the object, each property and its value. But as you can see, it represents the array as an array that has 3 different values within it. So to actually see the entire array printed properly, we're going to use json.stringify to create this object and turn it into a string. So as you can see, it now prints out the entire array. So now let's try to delete a property from the object. So we're going to delete food type. So we use the keyword delete and then the object dot the property that we want to delete. So we're going to console.log this, and now we're going to print out the entire object, and type will not be within the object. So now let's try to print out an array of property names, property values, and an array of the key value pairs. So let's start off with printing out an array of property names. So to do this, we do object, or we use object.keys with the name of the object. So object.keys will always be the command, but your object name is obviously going to change. It depends what you have defined the variable as. So let's print this. And we're going to do object.keys food. So this prints out name, type, and calories, because these are the different properties within the object. So now let's say we want to print an array of property values. So we're going to do this by using object.values, and we're going to print this by using object.values and within the parentheses food. So now this is going to print out the values: pizza, fast food, and 300. So lastly, let's say we want to print the key value pairs, an array of key value pairs. So what we're going to use is object.entries with the object name. And we're going to console.log this object.entries, and the object name is food. We're going to run this. But as you can see, it prints out 3 separate arrays that include 2 values. So obviously the key and the value. So we're going to use json.stringify to convert this into a string value so we can see each key value pair. See, name pizza, type fast food, calories 300, and they are all in 3 separate key value pairs. So now let's discuss nested objects. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to define a variable called const restaurant. And we're going to create an object with a property name with a value called foodies. So the restaurant is called foodies. The location will be downtown. And the final property will be menu. And we're going to create an object for the menu. So this is where the nested part of it comes in, because now we have one object within another. And we're going to include breakfast that has a value which is an array called pancakes, and omelette, and we're going to have lunch, which has an array value of burger and salad, dinner, which has an array value of pizza and pasta. So this is our nested object. So let's try to access a specific value within this object. So let's say we want to access the lunch menu. So there aren't a lot of options, but we're still going to try to access this. Restaurant.menu.lunch is how we do this. So we're going to run this, and as you can see, it prints out burger salad. So it essentially takes the object, accesses the property, which includes an object, and then we basically select which property within the second object that we want, and it will print out burger salad because we have selected lunch. So let's do this using the bracket notation as well. So we're going to do restaurant bracket menu, and then we're going to do lunch as well. We're going to run this, and burger salad is printed again. So it's essentially the same way to access it as a normal object, but you're including the other object as well, the other property within the second object. So now let's try to get the keys, values, and entries for this nested object. So just like last time, object.keys object to get the array of property names, object.values object to get the property values, and then object.entries object to get the array of key value pairs. So let's attempt to get the array of property names. So we're going to do object console.log object.keys restaurant. This will print out the different property names: name, location, and menu. Now let's try to get the different values. So we have object.values restaurant. So this gets the value of name, the value of location, and then let's actually json.stringify to show each array as well. So as you can see, this has printed out the different values, and now let's try to get all the key value pairs. So we're going to have to json.stringify this as well. So we're going to do object.entries, and then we are going to write restaurant. So as you can see, it has printed the key value pair, name and foodies are together, location and downtown are together, and then menu with the different properties and values within the menu property as well. So that is those are the different types of JavaScript objects. We've got regular objects and nested objects. So if you've learned something in this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.